I'm going to start every call with basically how I start most of my calls. Okay. There's a topic on the table, but if there's a question that you guys want answered, or you just have questions that you'd like to discuss at the end of the Q&A, don't hesitate, especially if you're on Zoom, to just pop it into the question on the Q&A in the chat. No one can see your chat questions but me, but it's easier for me to kind of scroll through them or even answer them as we go. But because it's so chaotic right now, and I wanted to kind of give you guys we're going to do some kind of heavy visuals tonight, and I'm done sugarcoating for people. So I think that's kind of what everybody's like okay with. Last week, I don't know what got you guys all like riled up and were laughing at me, but anyway, and I thought it was funny. So we're just going to be unleashed Dawn, okay, and we're going to talk about all this stuff because we have to see it from an energetic perspective. So let's get this call started with, first of all, good evening. Welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson. If you don't know me or this is your first time on the call, welcome. I love you. And I want to remind you that you are perfect. There is nothing wrong with you, and that everything we talk about is just for energetic understanding of recalibration. That's it. That's what our calls are about. If you can understand where it's coming from, you can understand where you sit on the vibrational scale to match in the calibration. That's simple. So on that note, when I did the meditation, so much has been happening because it's been coming at me from information externally. It comes at me information that's on my downloads, on the shifting, when I do my kind of check-in, and when I do my meditation journaling. And the message from my guides at this point is they were showing me parallel highways, parallel choices, parallel realities. Now, I was like, well, yeah, we've been talking about this forever, but then I realized that a lot of you don't see it that way, right? You don't see that we're living in parallel realities. You just see a reality because you live in a very tactile feeling experience of, if I can't see it, it isn't real. Okay. So what they were trying to tell me is it's time to choose to live in the new earth or the old earth. Okay. And that's kind of crazy, right? So it's not a place, guys, even though I've shared this with you, many of you on these calls for the last year, I've shared with you guys that new earth 5D is it's not a place, it's a frequency. So here's 3D, 4D, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I mean, just infinite. Okay. And 3D is heavy, dense energy. Then 4D is like the bridge, okay? And then 5D, it's not a higher or lower, it's just the next frequency of living, energy, experiencing. Now, heavy, dark energy, things that aren't nice, things that you've been seeing in the world that aren't pretty, you don't like, that's 3D, and it cannot rise above 4D energy, okay? Fourth dimension. So when you keep pulling up here and you start feeling good, that's what's going on and getting us in trouble. This bridge is what's getting us confused. So we're getting confused because we're sliding back and forth between these two energies, okay? And so it's basically you're on a highway of choice at this point. So the best way I could describe this, like in a nutshell, you're all getting a reality check. The whole planet. Remember, this is a global collective. We're all going through this all together, okay? And so you're getting a reality check. And the reality is you don't like what you see. Plain and simple. It's a fucking shit show out there. And I could not give it that's the most gentle I can give it. Okay. Now I love it. And you've all heard this from me 100 times. I love it because we need it to be that way in order for us to get up here. Because this is dark and destructive and not well. So living in a controlled reality and not free will. That's why you don't like it. So many are catching themselves like in a state of like, I want to be free of the shackles, but I'm still accepting portions of my life that are being controlled at the same time. Okay. So this is why there's so much confusion at the moment. This requires, in order for us to stay shifted into these higher realms, and I'm saying frequency, you're still on the same planet, right? But you're just not going to be engaging in the same energies, the same experiences, the same people, the same circles, the same experiences. it requires 100% commitment, right? 100% trust in your truth, okay? And if not, then it absolutely is confusing, right? Because the old does not work in the new that most of you on this call are wanting, right? And if you have not started this deprogramming, and a lot of people are just waking up, that's what got you guys all riled up and laughing at me, because I was just irritated beyond measure, going, guys, you got to wake the fuck up. I'm still there. This deprogramming of all the programs that you guys have been given from the boxes and the wizards. Of course, you're absolutely confused what reality is right for you right now, right? And so I know you guys are feeling this right now. I felt this shift happen within the last 12 hours. So many of you probably are feeling it right now, weird, off, and I'm going to get into it more, but there's nothing wrong. You're right. You're feeling what's happening. My shift has been insanely intense. Good, but kind of like, whoa, am I going backwards? And my answer was like, no. I knew the reality I've chosen. And so it flipped me as quick as I felt like I was going the other direction, I flipped. That's where I'm trying to get you guys. So when I sent out the daily, message board for everybody and the daily text, it said, look, why am I so confused? This is why. Because you're actually having to commit. What does a parallel reality look like? I kind of was realizing that when I did the meditation, I could see it very clear. That would look weird to all of you when you're in this 3D reality, living in this world and going, but we're still at a different frequency. It doesn't totally show a visual until we show you. What we're living in right now, this is it. This is a parallel reality. That's what it looks like. Okay, so you're seeing it, and you're seeing part of a collective that's choosing to live free and sovereign and making their choices that make them free and sovereign and independent. And then the part that's choosing to live in a fixed truth, which is what we talked about last week. Okay, and so I'm hearing a lot of people, they're saying like, oh my God, everybody's saying all these different things. And so that was the point of last week's call. You living with your truth and then flowing around, being a flexible truth, right? Flowing around what's not your truth is flexible truth. I get it. And so then when I tapped into this collective, remember, we're an entire planet. Not one country is going through what you guys are watching right now. The whole planet is going through an entire collective. So when I tapped into the observation of it, I can feel this confusion, delusion, distractions, most of all, irresponsibility to staying in your flexible truth. This is my truth. And you hit something and you hit a wall, and you're no, I'm going to flow around that. And then you hit something else and it's and I go. That's what I keep trying to get you guys to kind of open your minds to, right? So that's where the collective is right now, where they're very kind of getting delusional, like what is real? What is true? I get it. But we're not using our intuitive spiritual energy to test that. We're using what the old way taught us, which was the wizards. And I'm telling you, we got to wake up. Okay. So I can feel this discontentment for what things are, but I also feel avoidance of choice that when I'm watching everybody, we're avoiding making the choice of what we want in the tiniest things. And it's called free will. Right? It's called free will, and you must choose a higher frequency in every choice. And I mean this God frequency, source frequency. Okay. So if you're not choosing love in every experience, I mean love for yourself, right? Okay. And if you're not choosing that higher frequency in every choice, you're going to feel it no matter what you hear, no matter what you see, no matter what you read. It's time to start choosing solutions over situations. That's how basic I keep trying to make everything is. You have to choose a solution to your self-love over the situation. And we're like, but that's how it's always been. I don't give a shit. Okay, so how many of you guys right now are feeling these heavy effects of the consciousness shifting taking place? You guys are feeling it again, more headaches, Head pressure is a big deal right now. Congestion might be showing up. Sadness showing up. Diluted reactions to others, like for no reason. Back itchiness. Yes. Big deal right now. A lot of people are telling about how much their skin itches. You feel like you're climbing out of your skin. So it's almost like you're little snakes shedding your skin, right? So a lot of people are struggling with these symptoms, and those are just a short list, okay? We're having reactions to others for no reason at all. We're responding to them short or clipped or having zero patience. Guys, I get it. And so when I tapped into this, I didn't pay attention until I was like doing the planetary update that 4 planets, I'm going to talk about in a minute, are in Pisces within days. Okay, the moon will get there. It'll be 4 planets. Right now it's 3. Saying choose expansion of choice, not delusion. And that's what Pisces is. Expansion. And then instead it can go delusional, right? So it's definitely present. And when you put all the pieces together, the universe, the galaxy, your energy, your cells, it starts to make sense. Now, back to reality check, okay? The TV wizards can right now and will. Now, you all know the TV wizards are anything digital, any of the fact-checking wizards, okay? Any of the mainstream, mainstream media on any continent, on any part of this planet, okay? TV wizards is what we call them, can and will find any possible way to get you to stop uniting as a collective group of humanitarian love, kindness, and compassion, period. That's what its sole intention is. And everyone's like, no, they wouldn't do it this time. You guys got to fucking wake up. And I will keep reminding you this over and over and over again because you're not listening. And now you're like, but this little thing, that it shouldn't matter there. It matters everywhere. If you are not getting observing and starting to stick into a clear and concise path that you know you're going to stay on. If you're not, you're going back and forth and you're getting confused. Like, well, should I pick that? Should I pick this? No one can pick for you. Okay. So if you weren't alarmed, okay, up to this point, by the topics of the TV wizards on the cold bug, we have to call these things other things now because I told you guys I'm getting shadow banned, which I don't care because I'm going to move to some new platforms. I'll let you guys know when I do, but it's a lot of work. So if you weren't getting alarmed by the cold bug or the poke or the school closures or the misconduct in the medical systems or getting fired, or you stayed in, you were just like, I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to live and let live, right? Because a lot of us did this, okay? On all versions, all the last 2 years, put them all in the pot, okay? But now, this is what's happening with everybody. This European conflict is being used to get you all conflicted. It's dropping you, pushing you all down from this higher realm and going, no, my lane, my truth, my clarity. And then you're starting to focus on them again because they're like, oh, but we haven't seen one of these before. Bullshit, right? It's dropping you back down into the collective fixed truth of the old 3D realm, of the 3D reality. And you're losing sight of your flexible, free, sovereign truth. That's what we're doing. Okay, that's what its intention is. So again, this lesson is of learning to keep your truth highway and stay on it. Okay, there's a Buddhist phrase, and it's basically nothing is good or bad. It just is. Very same phrase. Nothing is good or bad. It's just an energetic match. So what you're watching and what gets flared up and what gets you into some sort of, conflict within an internal conflict, when you're watching and you're getting upset about something, it's an energetic match. Because a lot of that list I just gave you, a lot of you didn't even get bothered by it in the past, but this is flaring you up for some reason. So if you ask someone, or someone asks you, so you're like, okay, well, what's the truth about this topic? Okay. And they respond with something you dislike, but it's their truth. And then they trigger you and you react in low vibe and low consciousness. The higher vibe question you should have asked was, what do you want your truth to be? Or what you should have asked is, what do I want my truth to be? Let me tell you what it is so you answer appropriately. That's why we're all getting so struck with all this crap again, because you're listening to what you stopped listening to, and you started trusting this, and you got pulled back out again, or you didn't, right? But if you're not getting pulled back out, this is why. None of the topics are any different than each other. They're all the same, just each one of them have a different conflict within your soul's blueprint of learning. Okay. So again, a higher vibrational question to ask yourself is, what do I want my truth to be? Because then, right, you will see what each of you in yourself, right, you'll see who you are in each conflict, like who you are being, I should say, in a conflict. Are you scared, or are you surpassing it? Because if you're scared, you're watching the TV wizards. Okay. You are seeing the collective shadow right now, you guys, in conflict. The collective shadow of conflict that we've been put in and programmed in for so long to be in conflict on that survival rat wheel, that you keep forgetting that you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So now you're looking at this collective shadow, all the shadow together, right? That we've woken up to, and we're raising up, and we're putting lighthouses on it all over to make it brighter. And now you're on all the wizard networks. You're seeing a collective shadow being brought up and going, ooh, isn't this scary and sad? You should be sad. You didn't get to see that conflict, that deep, sad, scary conflict perspective in the past, when it came to the perspective of your health and of pokes and the bug. None of that was presented at this scary, sad level in the last 2 years on the wizard TV shows. They never showed you how bad everything was. They only showed you how good it was. You have to wake up to this stuff. You didn't see ever on a commercial families, health, careers, and money blowing up in a moment's time in people's lives. You didn't see that. They didn't show you that. But you're seeing now buildings blowing up, telling you to be conflicted. You have to turn off the TV wizards. You have to turn off the digital wizards. You have to turn off your social media. If you cannot observe without absorbing, you have to turn it off, because this is all that matters in here, this heart truth. That old easy street and the new heavenly highway. You got two options, guys. Reality check, my friends. Reality check. The bug, the poke, the lockdown, the things on your face, the Eastern or the European conflict. I can't even say the words. That's how ridiculous this is, okay? They're all the same. It's just which one affects you more, okay? So what's happening out there, think of it that way, whichever one it was for you, whichever topic got you just irritated and conflicted, that's igniting your own internal conflict, your own dishonesty, your own distrust, your own disbelief, okay? And so most of what you see is not yours to be in conflict with. It's just triggering your own inner conflicts with that you haven't dealt with yet, okay? Oh, see, someone said their beast is surfacing. So if your beast is surfacing, that means your shadow beast, which if you haven't read about the shadow beast, it's in my balls book. You can go read all about how you finding out who your shadow beast is. It's just your own personal shadow. And that beast comes up and makes you feel shitty about yourself. And so it starts connecting with the conflict on your screen. And nobody wants that, right? So most of you guys, when you're looking at something, that's not your conflict to be dealing with, right? But instead it shows, it's just asking you to say, okay, I'm showing you this so you can ask, who do you want to be? All right. I posted a quote on Instagram last week and or social media, I should say, altogether. And it was like getting all this attention. And I don't think like that. I literally am like, bam, bam, bam. I push stuff out as fast as I can. And then I move on because I have a clientele and all this stuff I'm doing. I'm writing these calls for you. And so what it catches my eye when people are really like stimulated by a certain topic. I'm like, oh, that got their attention. This one fascinated me with the current energy that's awakening on the planet right now. Okay. Because again, we're all waking up and going, whoa, right? And the quote was, raising your frequency isn't in a meditation. It's learning to love all your realities, even the ones you love to avoid. So the ones you love to avoid are the conflicts within you. And when you avoid them, something externally will trigger it, and you think it's the external that's making you upset. And you're so upset about that external, and you're so worried about it. It's not, it's you choosing you. Okay. That's what's happening right now, you guys. Okay. So even what you want to avoid, you cannot avoid it anymore. So how do I love all my realities, even the ones I don't like, right? Even the ones I don't like about myself, or those realities that are getting triggered right now. How do you love those things? And they're so different for everyone. That's why I bring up the whole list. Okay. There's conflict happening. And so someone's going to say, okay, this best way I can say it, there's a conflict happening, and just call it whichever one that you associated with in the last couple of years. And it could affect me. That's what I hear from people. And I'm like, well, what? How is it affecting you? And they're like, well, this thing could affect me. And the key word in that sentence is could. Okay. If it is not in your immediate environment, stop. Everything else is an illusion that you are creating in your mind of could. It's not true. So the challenge is we are all conflicted internally somewhere, and it's all getting pushed up. That's what I'm telling you. I felt it in the last 12 hours. It may have been maybe like the last day or two. Okay. But let's just give it 24 hours. Okay. The challenge is that where we're all conflicted internally is coming somewhere right now, and it's getting pushed, all of this to snap. It's like this bridge, you got snapped. You're either coming over here or here. That's the choice, the reality check. Okay. And it's coming somewhere from a past life, past lives, generations, ancestral, wherever it's coming from, all the way down to just childhood programming. And that's what you will avoid by focusing on someone else's conflict, because that's where it's coming from for everyone. So if you think you're going to avoid it, I'm just the messenger, guys. You're not going to avoid it. It's not happening. This conflict shadow is getting so many feathers ruffled right now. And when I did my energetic scan, it says, it's funny how they're all getting their feathers ruffled. That's so odd, because the same external death and sadness conflict has been in your face for 2 years. It's even been on your face. You should have been conflicted with that for 2 years. Visually, this whole thing of all these boxes have been visual for you to look at for 2 years. And what's even more odd for me, when it's been around for like forever in plain sight by the wizards programming you, but you just weren't aware of it for almost 100, 200 years, like in this form, right? Way worse than this form for thousands of years. But this form I'm giving you of everything you're seeing right now is hundreds of years ago. And oh my gosh, right? Oh my gosh, no, that's not what I want. Of course you don't. Of course I want you all in love and bliss and joy, but you have to see it before you can get here. Here is love, kindness, and compassion. Here is control and constriction and restriction. So analyzing details that don't affect you from this point forward, you guys, that's what's coming up. You're analyzing details that don't affect you, but then you're going to fall into absorbing them. And it's your own shadow that's needing to be revealed, not that, nothing more. Okay. So if you don't want conflict, don't instigate. That's interesting, huh? If you don't want conflict, don't instigate it, or don't allow it in your own body, in your own home, in your own family, in your own community. If it's affecting you because you can't live that truth, then don't either start it or don't allow it within you. Choose a better route, stay on that new highway, and then find a better solution, not the symptom. Okay. So this now takes me into, we got questions this week that came in already. They were coming in all week for me. I was getting peppered. And I knew something was going on. So I knew I could feel all of your same collective energy you were all picking up. Why? because I felt it, like I said, intensely. I had an intense shift in the last 24 hours. So what a lot of the questions came in were, what do I do about my job? I'm being forced to take this, or I'm being forced to do things I don't want to do. My kids are miserable in school. My health is poor and I'm scared. What should I do about this European conflict, etc., etc., etc. After all the TV wizards that we've discussed, after all the TV wizard boxes that we've discussed in the last 2 years, it's really hard for me not to use my sarcasm and say, really, like, what the fuck are you guys thinking? Like, seriously, you've got, if I can't get your attention enough for you guys to hear me swearing and going, wake up. This is your last internal piece that's getting conflicted right now. And it's in need of awakening. So whatever's upsetting you, it needs you to wake up to you that you don't want to see. If it bothers you, it's for you. It's not out there, because I'm telling you, all the stuff you're seeing is not what you're seeing. Okay. So if the Wizard of Oz, let's play that we're Dorothy and we went down the Yellow Brick Road and we got to Oz and we're like, tell us the truth. And then all of a sudden Toto was smart enough to go behind the curtain and go, it's just some dude who's just telling you what he wants you to hear, so he'll do what he says. That's it. Yeah. They had it in them all the time. They already knew what to do. They already knew what they wanted. They wanted to go home and be happy and in love and smart. Okay. You already have it in you. So if the Wizard of Oz, and or let's switch it to the media wizards, didn't give you the truth on all the topics this whole time for the last 100 years, okay, why would the wizards be honest now? I want you to ask yourself an honest question on anything. It's no longer an option not to dig in and research, guys. I'm not your researcher. I'm just giving you the information on the global spiritual level, and spiritual means frequency, okay, energetically. So to let your ego go rogue instead of stepping up and learn how to live in this parallel reality that you want, your ego will not win. It will not let you win, and it will go to what is easy. It wants the easy street, not this higher realm. Okay. So I want you guys to ask yourself, what you see is what you see, what you get. Because if you think what you see is what you get, what you have seen is not what you got. And I know all of you are starting to wake up to that, going, what I saw is not what happened. What I thought was going to happen didn't happen. Okay, that doesn't make it bad. It means you have a choice. That's what my guys were saying. You are now in a reality check. Pick. Okay. And so we're at this critical point of self-discovery and choosing your own reality. And you're kind of like, well, what? My own reality? Absolutely. That is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Because the spiritual truth is basically this: what you envision is what you create. So if you're envisioning this old darkness and old ways and allowing and going, oh, I want the easy route. Just tell me what to do. Tell me what's happening. I don't want to work hard to understand. You will get that, because that's what you're envisioning in your mind. You have to raise up and envision it like it's a dream, a magical, beautiful dream. Okay, so it's unavoidable from this point forward to admit the truth about what you've been settling for. It's unavoidable. Like, we have to go, oh gosh, I've settled for that. That is not okay anymore. So admitting that it's time for you to start learning that you have, if maybe some of you already have. So a lot of you on this call probably already have. That's not the point. But there's that sliver of conflict in you that we have to look at. So it's time to learn where you haven't already deprogrammed that part of your life, that old habit, those old beliefs of that pill population syndrome, as I call it. Okay, that one TV, that one show, the one doctor, the one pill. That's all I need to be healthy and free, right? It's a total BS answer. And it's completely the opposite of that. Okay. One pill population, and I mean pill population by one solution. Completely opposite that. Are you going to look at your life and see what you've tried to ignore for so long? Because if your life is any of these things, if your life is in disorder, if you're diverting, if diverting responsibility, shall I say, if you're delusional, right? If you're being deluded, kind of over here, kind of getting watered down in your ideas and your thoughts and wishy-washy about how to deliver your truth, then you're up for review. Okay? Do you divert your accountability? Ask yourself these questions. Do you allow yourself to accept delusions of reality so you don't have to accept responsibility for your choices? Because nothing you do is out of your realm. You have to ask, because some of this stuff I even have to ask for. And I'm like, okay, I'm asking spirit, as you all know, and I've taught you all how to do this, and I'll keep teaching you. I'm going to give you a very, very simple tool at the end of the call to make this even the easiest I possibly can. Okay? As easy as I can make this for you to help start shifting yourself to stay in that higher realm. And you're going to love it because it's super simple. Do you fill your schedule with so much activity so you can avoid what needs order and structure, only to create more disorder? Listen to yourself. Look at your life. Okay? Do you blame the dating pool or your spouse for your lack of self-worth? Do you blame work for your unhappiness? Or are you blaming the docs, all the doctors or the government for your health, or the schools for your kids being insecure and naive? I want to know. I want you to know, because when you know this and you ask, like, holy crap, am I letting everyone else decide what my life is going to be like because I'm waiting for them all to tell me? Will you declare what alternate reality over here that you would like to live if you could choose? And if you could choose, would then you take your kids out of school? This is always something baffled me going to school. Will you take them out of school and teach them how to live confidently, how to pay bills, how to cook, how to balance a bank account, how to invest money, how to communicate with confidence? Or do you want to put them in that school that's raising their joy and their badass skills so that nothing can bother them? Or do you want to put them in a school that's telling them that they're bad and they have no voice? You have to think about these things. That's the 3D realm. Okay. If you could work in your ideal career, would you do something else? Or would you keep being miserable, being told you don't measure up to the bully above you, but you're okay with the bully? Okay. What about if you could live with energy and no pain, like you feel so good, right? Without ever going to the doctor. Because this whole, you got to get a checkup, but you're super healthy is total bullshit. It's how they make money. I get that. I get it. I get the whole conflict you guys are going through. If you could live with energy and health and no pain, would you? That's a big question. If you knew the healing was in your hands, would you go back to handing your healing to another person? Ask yourself these questions. People ask me all the time, how come you don't go to a medical doctor, Dawn? Don't you have insurance? I mean, shouldn't you use it? And I try to explain to people, yes, I have insurance. I consider it basically a savings plan. So if I were to need it, some extreme emergency, I have my own health plan, and it's a health plan of not to numb my body with toxins plan. That's my health plan. Do I believe in doctors? Do I believe there are good doctors? Oh, yes. I know many of them, and they're brilliant and amazing. But the system is rigged against them for a little while. We're not going to stay there, but it's going to take some years to get this thing shifted. I'm not giving my golden ball of fate to another human to choose my fate on any topic, especially health. So I will use energy and I will find solutions to my situations instead of the symptoms. Okay. So I'm trying to get you guys to open your minds here and go, okay, we have been programmed to focus on symptoms. And I mean symptoms on not just your health, right? But symptoms on everything, all the problems, it's a problem, it's irritating. It gets me pretty irritated, okay? So you've been programmed to focus on these symptoms for so long and not solutions or root issues. So we forget to even start there. These are your parallel realities, symptoms or solution realities. Which one do you want? Focusing on solutions is that path that parallel reality. The symptoms is a constant exhaustion and pain and misery. And I'm like, guys, you deserve more than that. Come on. So just like the Matrix, everybody's familiar with that. So I use that sometimes to give you the understanding is you can take the red pill, make it rainbow. I don't give a shit what color it is, and learn the source of all things, the root of all things, the solution to all things. Or you can take the blue pill and stay over here and live comfortable in your old reality of numbing symptoms and recycling pain and suffering. It's super okay. And I'm telling you, no reality is wrong. I'm just telling you why you're confused, because those of you on my calls are going back and forth. Okay, surviving or thriving. We've talked about this. So now I go back to the original question. Why are you confused? It's pretty freaking obvious, right? You are not choosing you. Your heart's needs, right? Your heart needs and must be so crystal clear, you guys, from this point forward. It has to be so crystal clear to you, and you have to focus on it being so crystal clear to you that you are so committed to you, okay? Your truth feeds your spirit, and their truth, any wizards, any people, any external, feeds your ego. And ego wants to fit in. Ego doesn't want to rock the boat, but that is not your truth. Okay. So what are some simple things that you guys can use to expand body, mind, spirit right now and get out of this confused state? All right. And I don't care. You don't even tell anybody. Just do it for you. Okay. So let's talk about, I always want you to start with spiritual, then I want you to mind, and then body. Body's last. Okay. They all count. So you're going to do them all. So spirit, what can you do to expand that in this confusion state? Tell source the highway of reality you want to be on. Tell it to spirit. I want to be on the highway free of pain, free of sadness, free of debt, free of fear, free of illness, free of insecurities, free of pain in my toe. I don't know, whatever, but be very clear with spirit, the thing you don't want anymore. Okay. Mind. How do you expand your mind? I need you to get to miraculous healing. Okay. What miracles do I need to trust? If I need to trust that a miracle needs to happen for me to drive onto that highway and let my life be brilliant and beautiful and kindness, love, kindness, and compassion on that highway, on all your entire reality, what do I have to believe? What miracle has to be in my mindset? Going, what if it just miraculously disappeared? That's the highway I want to be on. That's what your mind has to think. Okay. And then body, things. So remember, it's truth, things, thoughts, and truth. So we did truth, we did thoughts. And now let's talk about things in the body. What is this is the simplest tool I could give you guys to help make this easy for you guys right now. Now I know a few of my clientele are doing this. I'm going to give it to you all because it's just easier. I will drop you guys. Yes, I'm going to show you guys how to make some charged water, but not the old charged water I showed you. That's ionic, or that's charging the ions in your water. I want to teach you guys how to charge your water with frequency water. Okay. I'll drop you guys a link, by the way, on at the end of this call. Those of you who are on the Zoom, I'll drop you a Zoom chat. But you can go on my website or the app, the IDI app. So if you have the I Deserve It app or my website, ideserveitnow.com, just go up to tools on the toolbar on free at the bottom. You'll see charged water. It'll tell you how to do this. But I want you guys to make some charged water. Okay. And I call this love water. And the reason I do is you can make charged water easy. It's a sticky note, for goodness sake. Now I've got some more prettier versions of this, but I made this fast for you guys so you can see. Okay, it says I deserve it on the top, and there's a sticky note on it, and I wrote on it. Okay, and so what I want you to get is an actual clear glass. Okay, you can use a sticky note. You can use a dry erase marker. You can use a Sharpie for all I care. It doesn't matter as long as you don't want to get it off the glass, but it's clear. Okay. Write on it. The first thing you're always going to write is, I love you. I love you. Okay. We did a lot of this charging and healing with a lot of the spiritual warrior course and some of my private clients on paper with an advanced I love you. And we'd sleep on the charged energy, but this is the fastest way I can teach you guys. So you're going to write, I love you. And then you're going to add a few things to it. I love being disease-free. I love being I love being pain-free. I love my joyful life. I love my life partner. You may not have those things. I love my healthy marriage. I love financial freedom. I love miracle healing. Whatever it is that you are just like, I don't want that BS anymore. I don't want to live in 3D and I feel I'm held down and I can't make a decision. Put the decision on the water that is, I love this, that you would have it in your body. I love having zero pain. I love having zero headaches, whatever it is that you're going through. I don't care what it is. Okay. I love you. And then put 2 more things, put 3 sticky notes. It doesn't matter. Okay. Put the sticky note on, leave this with water, fill it up with distilled, at least water that's been cleaned in some way. If you have a filter, a Brita, I don't know what you guys all use, but something. Okay. Leave it on your bedstand at night and let it charge. Okay. This will charge with love and high frequency energy. Why? I want you to drink it every morning after you, upon rising, drink your charged water. Why? Because guys, toxicity cannot live in the presence of love. And love, that word, love, is the sound of God. If you say God, you can hear it. That frequency is charging the cells and the frequency of that water. And what happens is when you charge that water and you drink the elixir, it's charging your cells with the same neutrality and healing. So everybody's like, that sounds too basic. I have clients doing it. I do it every night. It works. It's going to bring different forms of healing to you more quickly. Those miracles we were just talking about in your mind. Okay. And so water is frequency. I don't know if any of you ever saw that Japanese scientist who he put the word love on a petri dish and froze it, and hate on a petri dish and froze it. And that was a very granulated, ugly chart, crystals that froze. And then love was the most beautiful. And one of them had a heart in the middle and it froze that way. Water is chargeable. Okay. And when you charge that water, you charge the elixir goes into the cells and decides, cool, we're going to be happy too. And then your cells attract that same type of frequency energy. Now, I want you to do it every day. Don't even think about it. Just write it on there, stick it, fill the water at night and go to bed. I know you guys are tired. I know you're exhausted. I know you're confused. This is silliness. Okay. So it's time for us to get basic and clear. That's all I'm asking. Okay. Quick planetary update for you guys, and I'll go into Q&A. Remember last week I talked to you guys about Pluto. It's in the same position it was in 1776. Now all of a sudden, since then, you're all like, oh my gosh, we just went into a European conflict over there. I told you guys when I met you guys on Monday, be ready, because Pluto shakes up in the position it's at in Capricorn at 27 degrees, shakes up corporations, shakes up governments, shakes up financial systems and hierarchies. That's what's happening. So the planet of transformation and death and regeneration, it destroys in order to rebuild. We have to have faith in that. You are watching the old controlled systems die. It may look like that on the TV wizardry, that it's not. I need you all to research, but that's something that is getting triggered right now. Number 2, on Wednesday, I'm pretty sure I'm right on my date. Wednesday is the 2nd. There's a new moon, and new moons mean new beginnings. Okay. So this new moon is in Pisces. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, there's 3 planets in Pisces, and then the moon is going to join that party. We're going to have a 4-planet party in Pisces. Guys, you can breathe a sigh of relief because this new moon is really beautiful. It's nothing but good vibes. Why? Because that's what Pisces is. Okay, so it's time to set intentions with this new moon without the usual resistance and control and bullshit. Let it go. Okay. Are you ready to tap into your greatest dreams? That's what it's going to ask you. Okay. It's time to dig deep, meditate if you guys need to, allow yourself to dream. And I mean, then multiply that dream times 10. Okay. It's an opportunity to take like a leap of faith with the universe fully supporting you. Pisces energy, remember, it's all about connecting with that which is beyond the veil. And I brought you guys up to this content and mindset before. The veil is thinning and we are connecting to these higher realms. And these higher realms, once we get there, we're able to speak more easily to spirit and source and each other. And we're talking more telepathically and everything's just easier. That's what's happening. Okay. So this Pisces new moon is the kind of the kickoff of helping that veil thin even more. And it's completely supporting you fully and 100%. And this Pisces energy is all about kind of connecting with yourself. It's all about taking time to explore this inner world in ways that you haven't before, which is what I was trying to bring up before, is what last conflict is coming up. So you can go, oh, I can just put a miracle on that and say, I want it this way. That's what it's saying. Okay. So I'm trying to connect you to what's happening. It's about trusting your dreams, understanding that you guys can achieve any dream by simply just the fact that the dream exists, the fact that you've just thought it up. You have to get there because that's where we're going. Okay. Choose that reality. The universe doesn't allow you to dream anything that is unattainable. Okay. Next, adding to that party. So Wednesday, the moon goes into Pisces. The sun's already in Pisces shining. Okay. And then you have Jupiter also in Pisces. Jupiter is the planet of good luck and expansion and abundance. And especially because it's in Pisces, there's plenty of this spiritual good fortune available. It's so beautiful, you guys. Everyone's ability to feel more empathy and kindness and compassion is enhanced in your inner truth now. It's going to start coming out. Okay, you're going to start going, oh, so I can be more expanded in compassion with myself. Yes. So tapping into that unconditional love is going to get unleashed. Pisces rules dreams. Pay attention to your dreams, real and imagined. Okay. This is going to expand that highway of that 5D reality that you want to live in. And it's going to ask you, do you want the fixed reality or the flexible free reality? Okay. That's Jupiter, because Jupiter doesn't care. It expands whatever it touches. If you want to live in confliction or conflicted, controlled reality, it's okay with that. It just makes it more conflicted and more controlled. Or it says, okay, you want more creative ideas and living on this free reality, it will expand that. Guaranteed, this is where we're going. Okay, Neptune. Neptune rules Pisces. It's the fourth planet up there. Okay, so Neptune rules imagination, spirituality, faith, intuition, past lives. That's why all this past life thoughts and beliefs and emotions and pains are coming in. You're like, what the hell is going on? That's all it's doing, is opening the door so you can go, no. Don told me all I have to do is pick my dreams in 5D reality and stay there. Yep, that's what it's asking you. Pick. Don't be wishy-washy. Okay. So this energy is going to get amplified because Neptune is in its own sign, and then it's sitting next to Jupiter at this moment in time. They're going to stay there for a little while together. So there's this huge emphasis, you guys, on this mystical spiritual creativity, on the collective, on a deep level. The deep level of the collective's shadow is coming up and getting obliterated. And so the bad news, though, the low frequency of Neptune is you can misuse it, which can lead to like this escapist delusional tendencies, which is where I was calling you guys out earlier. Don't get yourself lost in the TV wizardry of delusion and go, no, my heart tells me this isn't right, or it's not right for me, or that's not how I'm going to live. That's what it's asking you, which is why I brought it up earlier. So beware not to get deluded by the details of the wizards and trust your soul and your spirit. Okay, so Pisces, Neptune, Jupiter, they're all going to elevate your internal so that it matches to this external love and unconditionally, and starts bringing these miracles and these dreams to life. It's time. Okay, real quick, tonight's tips, and then I'm going to get into your questions all coming in. Parallel realities, number one. Okay, you're getting reality checks in any box of your life. Are you short? Are you reactive? Are you sick? Are you in pain? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you irritated? What is it? And I'm just doing many things. Okay. Is it making you confused about what to do? Just self-check and go, oh, I just have to pick in that department what I want. Number two, use creativity to be flexible, but firm with your truth. Okay. Number three, the 3D reality no longer serves us, or at least this group. the Truth Tribe, okay? And you're going to be able to share that with others. Some others won't want to hear it. So you got to be okay with that. That 3D reality no longer serves you and it gets you confused. And so are you getting confused on how to choose 5D? Are you choosing easy street? That's easy, the pill population, one thing. Or are you choosing heavenly highway, which is the heavenly highway is dreaming magic, okay? Love, kindness, and compassion to yourself, okay? What would it take to make me happy right now? Start having a little kindness to make that happen for you. Number 4, love water. Charge your water, you guys. Start getting this water charged every night. Recalibrate your cells, drink it daily. Watch what happens. Make it simple. The universe wants to help you. All you got to do is tell it, put the water in your body and let that universe help. Okay. All right. Everybody right here, tap your thymus, tap your nervous system. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. All right. I'm going to open up the floor for a little bit here. The question tonight that I'm going to have you guys kind of tap into a little bit, there's a ton coming in, so I'm going to answer it all. Who is feeling confused and foggy in your brain right now? Okay, anybody? Okay, let me get to some of these questions that came in. Let's see. Kind of like you're not winning a popularity contest, you're likely on the right path for yourself. Yes, this is exactly. It's going to feel like you're choosing something that's not popular, right? But that means you're on the right path, because it's popular for you and it just makes your lighthouse brighter because you're happy, because you're choosing you. All right. Sound frequency is used as a weapon. So it definitely heals. Yes. Well, there's a lot of frequencies out there that are not good. And I'm not going to focus on not good because that's 3D and that's dark energy. Okay. Anything that's trying to hurt you and make you feel controlled, constricted, and, shackled. I don't care if it's sound, I don't care if it's an actual physical weapon, and I don't care if it's words or language or anything. If you want to heal, when you put new frequency into your body, into your cellular body, remember we have this causal, we have this basically a bubble of frequency around us. That energy starts pinging out like sonar. It's almost like you got a bubble of protection around you because you vibrate and you ping out this higher frequency of energy, only attracting that tribe. That's this tribe, you guys. Okay. Okay. Let me see what else we got here. All right. Out of curiosity, how do you see the masses being warmed up to the idea of frequency healing and the subject of subtle energy or a higher harmonic of electricity in our bodies, which is a cool definition I found. Beautiful. I can't, that's what I'm trying to explain to all of you right now regarding this charged frequency. This is a higher harmonic. What he just explained to you guys right there in that question is everything has frequency. You might call them words. What I'm having you write on here when I make sure you write I love you is a frequency of energy. So what you're doing is you're charging the frequency of this water to an elixir that basically raises the frequency. Now there's sound harmonics. The sound of love is ah, love. Love, ah is the sound of God, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, ah. All the religions, take religion out of it and just say ah. You can put ah on here, and it's a higher frequency of source consciousness that is healing all that it touches, raising your frequency. There are so many versions of it. She was talking about there's sound frequency that can be used as a weapon. There's sound frequency that can be used as healing. There are all kinds of harmonic versions out there that you can use that actually bring you to a higher frequency of language. And all we have to do is tap into that. Remember we talked about the chakra river with the crystal ball and the golden ball of light bringing through. You can do both. That chakra river is on the app, and pretty sure it's on my website too. So we have all these ability to the masses getting what he's asking. Are the masses waking up? They wake up from this call. You all wake up from discussions. You all wake up to higher frequencies and going, really, Dawn, is water going to try? Well, if you can't make this tiny, simple stump of water, and put that into your soul, you're not ready to move to a higher frequency and understand what he just brought up, which is, do you see the masses warming up to it? Well, when you're doing it, it works, and your friend's doing it, it works, and the whole group is doing it, it works, and you all do this and it works, and you all shine that light and bring someone a glass bottle that says, I deserve it on it, and something that says, I love you, and they start feeling the frequency shift. What happens? This subtle energy turns into an entire planet of lighthouses with high energy shining out and pinging out this beautiful harmony. And yes, he's talking about electricity in our bodies, the body's frequency, and the electricity of your nervous system is charged. It's amazing. Okay. Next question. Is now a good time to start something new, like a new project, relationship, financial endeavor? Now is to start everything new that you want. If it's a dream, if it's a something that is in your heart, and you've been dreaming it, wishing for it, needing it, hoping for it, and I just use, physical pain because that's something that's present for you right now. You have to, pain is really to get you to focus on you guys. I hope you guys understand that. That's when it comes up. Okay. So starting something new is always important. I don't care if you even baby step it and then it really isn't ready. There are lots of things I worked on for the last 2 years. I wanted them to be done year one, and it took a time. It wasn't ready, but I didn't stop working on it. Okay. So yes, it's always a good time to start something new, especially if you're going to write it down and put it out there with your new intention on that new moon on Wednesday on the 2nd. Okay. Okay, let's see what else is coming in here. I got one more here. Okay, so the question is why is this war, as they're calling it, triggering me more than other things happening? It's your internal conflict. We brought that up. So if you wanted to know the truth about the origins of that conflict, okay, in Russia, and you would dive into Ukraine and all the understandings why it's all happening. I want you guys to look at things like that. Okay, you're looking at, when you look at them from the minutia, you will experience it how someone wants you to. When you look at it from the bigger perspective, you'll understand it from a different perspective. Okay. And that's what I'm asking you to look at. Why is it conflicting you? Because you're not looking at yourself from the bigger perspective. Guys, if you just looked at this whole thing and really understood that, just open your mind to going, okay, wait a minute. This is a superpower and this is a small non-superpower country. This superpower could level this non-superpower in like a day. If they wanted to, they don't. So you have to understand what's the root. I want to know what the solution is, the understanding is, what the root is of these things, not what I want to analyze who did what to who. That's silliness. That's like you saying they called me a name. Who cares? That means they're a bully and they have insecurities. You know the root. That's my point. Okay. So do you want to know what the one pill wizards are feeding you with their filth? And I'm telling you guys, because it's literally, I want you guys to not believe anything you read or hear or see anymore unless you're actually in it. Okay. Truth requires you guys to dig a lot sometimes, and it requires you to see things you may not like, but it keeps you on your highway. That's what keeps you on your highway. She said it really well, kind of like you're not winning a popularity contest because you're looking at things you don't like, but you're on the right path because you know it's your truth. It keeps you there. So truth requires a lot of digging sometimes. Okay, and it keeps you on your highway. And when I look at a lot of things in the world right now, when I bring them to you, it's not from one source or one understanding. I told you, I do cards, I do pendulums, I do a chart reading. I look at my intuitive downloads from my guides. I don't let one thing make my understanding of how the interpretation of this energy and frequency is. I layer all the sources to make sure, how does this feel? If it feels dark, I keep digging for source, not symptoms that are creating darkness. Okay. Okay. I think I got everybody here. Did I get you guys all in? Are there any other questions on this? Anybody feeling the fogginess in your brain, confusion? That's a big deal right now. All of you on Facebook, hello. Yeah, someone's like, it's not hormones. So what's so funny is, yeah, you see, you're all feeling it, and a lot of people are saying definitely. So I like to do these calls to get you validated. I don't want you guys to think you're crazy, because you're not. And I literally had the worst like dizziness lately, and lightheadedness, and I was like, is it the spirit, that I'm putting going into the higher realms? Am I not grounding? Is it the shifting of the frequencies? It's all of it. Okay. The thing is when you get pulled up and you're foggy headed and confused and a little bit uncomfortable, you have to go. This is what I did. I'm going to give you my tool. I said, you're not the boss of me. I'm the boss of me. And this isn't happening anymore. That was the old energy, the old confusion, the old vertigo that would come up at times. I was like, no, not going to happen. No more. And I literally cleared it. Then I got a call from someone's like, listen to this meditation, it'll calm it. And then I thought about something else that I could do at home, a healing modality. And literally within 4 hours of having this, gosh, it's getting worse, is something wrong? And it wasn't. I was like, no, I chose this higher realm. I chose my reality. So I'm going to leave you guys on that reality check. You have to choose whether it's your physical pain, your emotional pain, your social pain, your career, whatever it is. You're going to go, no, I'm the boss of you. You're not the boss of me. You can use my words. Okay. Hopefully that helps you see. Even hormones, you tell your hormones, no, hormones, I'm the boss of you. You're not the boss of me. Okay. All right, guys. So remember, Truth Tribe is always free. It's on Zoom. You guys can log in whenever you want. Share the link with everybody. Bring more people on. It is always free. You will always get text reminders and share it with your friends. Just remember the replays. You either need the IDI app. I also reset the Truth Tribe page on my website. So some of you have that membership. You can go see it there too. All you got to do is open either one and tap on the Truth Tribe tools. There's Truth Tribe. Open it and pick the one that you just missed. And they're all dated now. My assistant's uploading them. Typically, they'll go up at night after we do this, but sometimes it takes till the morning. Okay. So if you missed something or you missed one, you can go back to listen to all of them if you like. But they're on the I Deserve It app. Just download it from the App Store and it's there. So we will be back next week. Don't forget all of this Pisces energy on Wednesday. It's all loading up. It's bringing you some magic. Create the magic in your mind. Do not negotiate. And if someone says you're crazy, say, yes, I am. And you're welcome to come with me or not. And then you're going to be a little bit more at peace within your soul, not having to be so confused about what choice you made. Okay. All right, friends. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Brightest blessings. And I will see you guys in a week. All right. Have a good night.